Welcome back to another Askari Cast. My name is Rod Van Blake, author of the Ancient Illumination sci-fi series, as well as Body Chronicles fantasy series. And I am joined once again by Jocelyn Short.
Hello.
She is a concept artist and illustrator and creator of the series Bearers. She also has a lot of cool cover work that she's being done for other writers. And if you want to check her out, there'll be a link to her website to check out her creative endeavors. And we are also joined by Jordan Purnell Jackson.
Hey, everybody.
He is an artist, writer, and educator. He's also the illustrator on the Ancient Illumination graphic novels, as well as Yambani Chronicles comics. He's also the cover artist on a new comic that we are working on by Brad Hudson's doing the illustration, but Jordan's doing the cover. And he's also the creator of Eve of Insurrection, Eve of Reclamation, and his own STEM comic series, Grown in the Garden. So once again, if you are interested in any of our creative endeavors, when I upload this episode to Spotify, there will be links to all of our websites. Today we are back again, finishing off Splinter Cell Deathwatch. So we were talking episodes 7 and 8. So spoiler alert if you have not watched that far and finished the series, because we will go in pretty in depth with these last two episodes. Still feeling short to me. And this is my second go around. I rewatched them earlier this afternoon, and it's still, even though I knew it was short, it still felt abrupt when each episode ends. This is Chaos Theory Part 1 is episode 7, and Chaos Theory Part 2. We start off episode 7 with another cool little black and white like flashback to Tokyo in 2007. We're in this bathhouse in Japan, and we see a group of Yakuza. I basically seemed like they're putting a hit out on Sam Fisher, Grimm, and Douglas. And he has his little confidential papers, this kind of heavy-set sumo-looking Yakuza dude. He's got the tats all over. He puts away the folder, and then he sees one of his workers or henchmen or whatever, the little skinny dude with the glasses. Everybody else has a little skinny dude with the glasses. And he hands him the briefcase full of money. He goes downstairs with another dude. Was that dude a black dude? The other dude?
Yeah, that was a black dude.
Yeah. He hands a briefcase. He opens the briefcase, shows a bunch of money, and then he rolls out. And before my man gets back into the bathhouse to check on everybody else, they done got. They are laid waste. And it's Douglas. I think that's Douglas, right? That's in there. That's not Sam.
No, that was Sam. Because this is where I feel like the character design should have been more distinct, because they get really confusing looking. But it was Sam. He came from one job and went to another. It was Sam.
Okay, because I was thinking that was Douglas.
I thought it was too.
Yeah. And then we see them have a confrontation outside after he takes care of everybody that was trying to kill them. We see Sam and Douglas have another little philosophical confrontation. And Sam doesn't fall for the banana in the tailpipe because old boy tries to trick him, like he throws his gun. Like, I know, you wouldn't shoot an old friend. That's the old school. You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? And he puts glasses on. It didn't work. He tries to reach around for the second pistol that you don't see, and Sam ends up shooting him, which kind of confused me at first. But I guess this is obviously after the court martial we had seen in previous episodes. So I guess he got out. Echelon, I guess, is the agency that they're both a part of.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes on to do his thing and become like a warmonger, selling arms dealer or whatever. And that's why Sam doesn't like what he's doing. Then we flash forward to Sam back to the present time, where we see at the end of the previous episode where Sam walks in and confronts Diana, Douglas's daughter. I don't know about y'all, but I like the fact that Sam knew McKenna would be cool. Because Diana makes a remark like, "You won't find your friend here," and Sam's like, "She'll be okay. Like, she's cool. I'm not worried about her."
Because she is.
Yeah, I know y'all snatched her up, put her in the kidnap van, but she's good.
There's also no sense in worrying about her at this point, because she's already gone off before to do her own thing. So
true.
Can't
She
really
can
tell her
handle it.
nothing. Yeah.
She can handle her own, like,
Yeah.
And then Diana confronts Sam about killing her father, And I was a little surprised that he let her go at the end of this. Like she was, but it's obviously she didn't know because her hands were shaking when she gets in the elevator. They had a little back and forth of like, of course, the means, the ends justify the means, right, Sam? You can do what you do. You can kill all the folks you want to. I'm just about survival. That's why I'm doing what I do. And basically, you're BSing yourself if you believe otherwise. And she just walks out the room, and it's obvious that she didn't know whether or not Sam was either going to kill her on the spot. Her hands are shaking. And Charlie ain't picking up the phone, her brother. McKenna gets out of the situation she was in and calls Sam, I'm assuming. And Grim is stalling at the top brass, the president. Everybody wants answers for what's going on. And they don't know at this point where Sam and McKenna are. And Thunder thinks he's found the real plans for Xanadu, looking at the green, whatever the code name of the book was that they had for plans. Sam and McKenna meet up. Grim, to me, is all bluster because she's like, I'd come out there and kick y'all butts myself. Like, come on, Grim. You just talk about that gang, like, and then they're going through everything, all the plans, and this was kind of weird to me. I don't know if y'all, because McKenna like randomly recalls a comment from oh boy about Freya being on the ship, and then she remembers the name of the ship name. It just seemed like a weird flashback that she like randomly, as they're discussing what's going on, she had the vision of I forget the dude's name, but the mustache dude that got his eye poked out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't remember his name either. Jeez.
On the phone saying, and then she remembers the name of the ship, and then all together they piece things, or so they think. They piece everything together, and McKenna goes to stop this ship that's going to blow up the power grid, basically, in Germany. What did y'all think about that?
So, I thought it was believable. Like he's an agent. Like she's a Splinter Cell agent. I think it's her job. It would be logical for her to remember a conversation, kind of start to put things together. She's an intelligent person. So I thought that kind of worked. I was fine with it. I think leading up to it, like seeing the dynamic between Sam and Douglas was interesting. This is going back to kind of what I was talking about last week about like I was thinking more about like these kind of cutscenes and flashbacks and how they work into the story.
Yeah.
And I think that they use it in an efficient way to kind of how they use an efficient way in how they kind of edited this episode, and like they gave us the kind of backstory in the beginning, and then they kind of work us into the present with Diana, which made sense. But still, I was thinking about like if we had to re-edit this story in its episodic format, like I'm not a fan of how they kind of dip in and out of the present and the past. Because the relationship between Douglas and Sam feels like in my opinion, it's the real heart of the story. And I feel like they could have shown us that in a different way, in a more concise way. Okay. Because there's a lot of stuff that happens and they kind of just jump in and out. Like they literally will just like years will go by and then we're seeing the aftermath of what Douglas did versus seeing exactly what Douglas did. Like, we should be seeing him, if he's an arms dealer now.
Yeah.
We should be seeing him brokering deals.
Yeah.
Versus like
the only thing.
Yeah, the only thing they showed us was he was ready to. He interrogated, waterboarded homeboy, and the dude died, and then he was court-martialed, and then we don't get any other we don't show any of the ramifications of what Douglas is doing, so it feels very disconnected. From a story, it feels very disconnected as an audience, as a viewer. I don't I kind of care about the relationship between Sam and Douglas, but I don't at the same time because you keep withholding. You're not showing everything, and they're trying to stuff a lot of things into these short form episodes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing. But go ahead, Jocelyn. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I feel the same way you do, just because I feel like that episode I don't know. I felt kind of disconnected to it, you know. I think kind of for the same reasons you just mentioned. You know, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was basically the end of that episode. That these are to me, I'm repeating it again, but it's feel really abrupt.
Oh yeah.
I feel a little differently after the second watch about the ending because at first I don't know if you guys how many times you guys watched it, but upon the second watch, I felt better. Upon the first watch, I was like, I didn't really feel anything. Like I think Jocelyn, did you ask me how I felt?
Yeah.
You're like, how do
Yeah.
you feel? And I was like, I was okay. Like,
And I heard you said that, and I was like, that's not a good sign.
yeah, I was like, yeah, all right. And then this time I tried to rewatch and take some notes and pay more attention to certain things. And I got a little bit better enjoyment out of it, especially the final conflict between Freya and McKenna, because I noticed some things that were really funny to me during the fight. But yeah, I was kind of just like, okay. It had kind of a twist in the end, but not anything really surprising. You could tell something was up with Charlie because he was being more and more standoffish. He seemed to be a key cog between him and the other investors because Diana seemed to be losing control of the company. Him coming back to the fold regained control of the company for the family, and then right as soon as he's like back in the fold, he seems to just like step back and disappear altogether. He's not answering phone calls. He's not showing up to meetings. He's not showing up to parties and presentations that he's supposed to be a part of. So that ended up being kind of weird to me. So I knew something was up with him. Episode 8, Chaos Theory Part 2, we open up with in the water, and we see the Lazarev ship, Russian hydraulic freighter, just kind of derelict and headed towards its target. And I say target because, of course, the Echelon folks, Grimm, Sam, and them, they think that they're going to knock out the power grid, which is kind of a devious and kind of very calculated plan. Like, we blow up the power grid, you'll have to be on board with this new green energy stuff because the old grid is blown up and can't nobody do nothing. But we have this convenient island over here that will be able to power, multiple cities, and you'll be back in the game. I think that would have been too convenient for people to overlook that had it gone as planned that way. And then, of course, Sam and McKenna get on board the ship to find the group has been ghosted. Freya done killed everybody on that ship. And this is kind of tropey because they had to split directions. One has to go to the engine room, other one has to go to the bridge. They can't be together. Make their way to their rooms, and then we cut to Diana heading to her presentation with a bunch of heads of state. And again, this is all too convenient to me. Like, if you were going to blow up the power grid, it just so happens to happen at the same time that you're having this summit with world leaders and stuff. We want you to rely on us for power. It's better. It's cleaner. Boom. Oh, look there. The power grid's gone. What you gonna do now?
And then now she conveniently was like, we could use Xanadu and test it out. Like,
yeah,
it does seem a little like that gets into like her being kind of the villain and like her being this like corporate CEO conglomerate person. I don't know. She's not feeling very. I don't know. I'm not. What's the word I'm looking for? She doesn't feel like the best version of this archetype. Like, she doesn't feel nuanced or interesting. Like, I don't. There's something missing here. It's like you could have done this. You could have made a better plan.
She's out of touch, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think that her moving this way is she's in desperation.
Yeah.
Like, and that shows how she was moving before. When they found out the stuff about like how she was lying about the books, like she doesn't have the funding that she was pretending that she had and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. And so she had to cut the power to position herself as like, hey, your stuff is it's breaking. Whoops. Here, I'm a solution, you guys.
Yeah. Just
listen. I don't know what you want to do. I don't know how long you want to go without power, but I all right. So
Okay. Yeah.
so all she got, the only hand she's got is a shisty salesperson. You
Yeah.
know, that's all she got.
Yeah, that was a little too convenient for me. So I'm glad they didn't go through with that plan because that would have been. I would have liked to if it did. I wanted to see the reaction of everybody else around. We flash back to Sam, not flashback, but we go back to Sam and McKenna on the ship. He let Sam tells McKenna, if I can't, if I can't redirect from here, you're gonna have to control the ship from up there. And I wrote down famous last words because McKenna goes, how hard can it be? Like it's just a simple flick of the switch. You don't go up there and it's all good. You're like, oh,
dumb.
that's not gonna go good. I already know this. And then we got Grim and Thunder doing their best man in the chair impressions. All the superheroes got to have a man in the chair. So they're looking at the grid of the ship and directing everybody to where to go. Who do you think Diana is talking to once they get to the presentation spot, when she's out on the balcony, about all you have to do is hold the ship on course, and then her assistant comes back out to, tell them they're ready for you?
She wasn't.
She talk to her brother?
That would have been
No, because remember
that would have been after that.
Oh, okay.
He's not.
Would it have been Freya? Logically, would have been Freya.
But if Freya,
but Freya was fighting.
It could have been. It could have been Freya. And we found out later that the chaos technology has been used to hack into the ship as soon as Sam and McKenna got on board. So yeah, she could have been talking to Freya. But knowing what I know after this being my second watch, I was kind of like, well, if the ship is not going to where they think it's going, and she's saying just hold the ship on target, wouldn't Freya notice that the ship was going off target at this point? So I was kind of curious about that. And Sam and McKenna make their way through the ship to find everything's been sabotaged, and they won't be able to divert it via conventional means. And of course, this is setting up the final conflict between McKenna and Freya on the bridge. I was wondering why she was wearing night vision goggles when she got topside in the day.
Oh, yeah.
It was overcast. But it's still light enough. If you're wearing night vision goggles, it's gonna look crazy. Like you have to take those off in normal lighting. Those aren't meant to be worn during the day, but they have it just walking on this little catwalk with the night vision goggles. I know it's a nitpick, but
no, it's a valid nitpick because I thought about it too. I was like, she's not supposed to be wearing those. It's daytime. Take them off. Take them off.
But they look cool on me.
And that's what I was thinking. It's the cool factor. It's the cool factor, and I guess the signature Splinter Cell thing is to have the little 3 eyeballed glowing green NVG. So I guess that's why she's got to wear them. She hesitates, which allows Fred to stop her, which was annoying. That was another, like, just put the dang. I mean, it wouldn't technically, now we know it wouldn't have mattered, but I'm like, as soon as you get it and you see where it's supposed to go, she had time to just put the little thumb drive into the spot it's supposed to go. But she just waits. She looks like she senses something in the force, looks out the window, doesn't put it in, and then Freya comes in spraying her down with the fully automatic weapon, and they get to scrapping.
It was great though. We gotta say it was a great fight scene. That's probably the best part of this episode.
Yes,
these women were fighting. Like it was.
Yeah, they were getting down.
I was nervous. The way Freya pulled out the blade, I was like, please don't cut McKenna's titties. Like, I was like, no, what's going on? I was like, I felt that. I was like, woo. It's like, I was like, this is rough.
I locked in.
That was a very good fight. Like, that was tense.
Yeah, they got down.
Oh, goodness gracious.
How does Sam hear gunfire near the engine room on a ship that size that's happening up on the bridge nearly topside? I'm like,
oh yeah, because they had to go through. They had to go out. She had to go outside, then go across that little bridge to get to the kind of control tower thing, the control room. He would not have heard that gunshot. He would not have heard. That was theatrics. That was straight theatric.
Did y'all see the movie Equilibrium with
Yes, that's my movie. What about
Christian Bale and Taye Diggs?
Yes.
Do you remember the gun kata?
The gun kata?
Yeah, like the karate moves that you're supposed to do with the gun. You can move your hand.
Yeah. It was I want to watch it.
When she ran out of bullets and threw her gun at McKenna, if you notice, she's ducking and dodging gunfire like she was doing the gun kata from Equilibrium. She's dodging.
That was crazy. I was like,
she had speed on her side.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, how are you missing point blank like this?
Because
she that fast. She that fast.
She was whipping that stuff. She
was bobbing and weaving through bullets. It was hilarious. And then I damn near spit my coffee out when McKenna power bombed my, like, this was old school WWE. It was WWF, and she literally picks her up and power bombs her on the ground, mollywops her, throws her through the glass, punches her so many times, and then basically plays pong with her forehead and the console, just bouncing her head off, and then knocks her out.
Crazy.
And she finally inserts the bug to take over the nav system, and Freya, of course.
I was so mad at this part. I was so mad.
At the frag grenade?
No, I was mad because she slammed her head down, and I was like, you need to make sure that she is dead. Like,
she's a double captain.
Yeah, I was like, I know you ran out of bullets, but I'm like, y'all got this. 2 knives in the room. Please finish this. Like, because I knew crazy. She was going to come back, But I just also, I was like, hadn't you learned your lesson to double tap? What happened?
What happened?
I was surprised. I was thinking McKenna was dead at that point.
You thought she wasn't going to make it?
Well, a frag grenade technically is 15 meters of explosive power shrapnel, and there wasn't 15 meters worth of space. And from the outside, you see the whole bridge was smoking coming out before Pam gets in there. I thought she was gone, but plot armor, I guess.
I thought when she jumped over the console, that was shield and protection. I mean, we see this in John Wick. They'll take a door, a box, object, contain the explosion, and we good. That's all she needed to do was just tough recover.
But they didn't show her jumping. She's standing there talking about no. Freya says yes and gives her the finger, and then it just cuts to the explosion.
Yeah, but they did that for tension. They were like, we're going to try to misdirect y'all and think she's dead. But I was like, she going to jump over the console. I was nervous on the first watch. I will give you that. I'm like, if she's dead, this is going to be stupid because she easily could jump over this console. And literally that could shield her from the blast.
Yeah. So after all that, we see Thunder can't control the ship, and we see Charlie called an audible. So he done got control of the ship, and he calls his sister Diana to gloat. I was so pissed at Charlie at this point because he acts like they're having a real conversation. He's like, so you think it's going to save the company? He's having and she's like, oh, definitely, yeah, it's going to save everything. He's like, oh, good. I was like, oh, this dirty bastard. He's horrible. So Sam and McKenna bail last minute, and so the ship crashes into Xanadu. Then we get basically that thing blows up and kills everybody there.
That was rough.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was sad. He killed it all.
I'm actually glad that they went through with it because sometimes we get this ex machina where just whatever the fix is that saves the disaster always happens. And this time they pushed through and went through with it, took them out. And I was like, ooh, that's interesting to see if they're going to actually have a sequel and clean that up or what's going to happen. We get a double flashback to both Sam and Douglas having a philosophical discussion of how things should end on the fishing trip. And then we also see Sam at Douglas's funeral, looking at, the flashback of that, looking guiltily at Diana, and she cries over her father passing. McKenna fishes Sam out the water. We peep Diane's old assistant watching what happened on the news, like, damn, that could have been me.
And they showed the glasses too, which is making me mad.
Yeah,
I was like,
wasn't that like basically the female version of him? The new
they showed her glasses. I was like, yo, that's funny.
We just got a new model of the same person.
That was crazy.
And then we see the funeral, Diane's funeral, in real time again when Sam and Kaiju show up to Diane's funeral to watch Charlie. and of course he goes back to the villain layer that he's assembled to gloat over everything. Like he didn't finish it. He's looking at the books. The money from contracts is coming in, and he's having a drink. He's bold. He's just having a drink and putting a toast to his dead sister, whom he killed. And
he had the paintings behind him, like he did something. I'm like, bro.
My boy was listening to jazz music. He was living it up and then the lights go out, and Sam comes in there with the 3-pronged glasses, and the NVGs light up after he doesn't. Jen, what's going on? He gets killed, takes him out. So that was cool how they ended that. I like it. Like I said, the second watching, I was better with it. I wasn't as meh on it. I got to dissect the fight scene with McKenna and Freya a little more. So it was a pretty good show to me. It wasn't like revolutionary or anything. So for me, it was like a 7.5. The action was good in it. The story was cool. There were some weird plot holes. Nothing's going to be perfect. What did you guys think?
I thought it was okay. I agree with you. Like the action was really good. Story was okay. It was okay.
Yeah.
I feel like there was potential for it to be like stronger. Certain parts got predictable and some parts were kind of like, why are they making these decisions if they're these top agents, And so I don't know if that's a writing thing or if it was truly just like these are agents that have been out of the game or that have been compromised, that kind of thing. But I also kind of feel like, I shouldn't have to give the show the benefit of the doubt. That should be made clear in the show. So but either way, I still enjoyed it. Like I liked it. The way it ended was interesting. I thought they was gonna set something up, for something else, but it's the ending felt very like final, like, which was cool. I didn't mind that.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
I think they kind of left it open because you see Grimm talking when they figured out they lost. Like we lost this one. Because Thunder feels guilty that he done messed up. He should have been better. And Grimm's like, no, you played it right. We played it how we were supposed to play it. Just sometimes you lose, and the game is the game. So I think at that statement, they're like, he's now part of the crew, and they're gonna go pick up the pieces to whatever happens this. And if there are other players, I don't see how Charlie didn't figure out. He doesn't seem that much younger than Diana. I'm like, was he around when Sam wasn't around? You know what I mean? Like, did he come way after?
Yeah, he did. I mean, they implied that he's much younger. Like, I feel like in the first episode, he's like 18 or...
He is. That's right.
He's like
and he's only half brother.
And he has a half brother. So Douglas is probably out here.
Okay.
Shagging
like,
Dragon.
How did you not know about Sam's coming in the dark? Like, you knew what happened to Pops, right? Like, you should.
But he had that goofy arrogance of himself. That was the flaw of him. But I don't know. For me, I'm going to probably put this at a solid 7. Just because, like, for me, I think as the story progresses, there are moments where, like I said, the editing doesn't really enhance us. Like, the editing and pacing of, like, the flashbacks versus what's happening in real time, present day, aren't the most effective. I loved how, like, the good guys didn't win. So I love that part of it. I like the kind of like tragicness of it all, but like how like we find out like Diana's not really the ultimate villain in this, I guess.
Yeah.
Charlie really is, but I feel like that was also a negative drawback of this show. Like, I don't know, Charlie
went up there basically.
He did. No, he did, but he was kind of like none of this felt very, what is the word? Not say grounded, but like he's gone he's here and there throughout the season. And it felt like it was a cheap, it was actually Charlie all along. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I didn't really like this. Like, I don't care. I don't have any like connection to this like villain. So it's just kind of like,
we don't have any
he killed his
stakes.
sister. You're right. There's no stakes there. Like, we don't know much about him. His motives aren't his like real actual motivations. What he thinks aren't very clear, in my opinion, or like it doesn't show. Like, we don't get enough screen time with him to really see why he's doing what he's doing. He just looks like a younger brother who just wants to seize power.
Yeah,
and he becomes one note, which was like, that's kind of lame.
Yeah, I feel like we could have, the audience, we could have benefited from having more time with this brother and sister duo as villains, like having them, I don't know, be more fleshed out. But I don't know how interesting that could be. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we need to see more of them being dastardly and messed up over time.
Yeah, we don't even really see them a lot together as kids.
And that's the flaw. That's the flaw. Like, for a brother that's barely around to then spite his sister, like, okay, you don't show us much of their interactions. Like we should understand why he don't really care about his sister besides their age gap. Like, there should be more layers to that. So that was kind of disappointing. It made sense that Sam killed him at the end. That did give it a finite ending.
Yeah.
I think that didn't need to end that way, because you could have opened it up for a season 2 where, like, we just have to go get Charlie. That could have been a whole storyline, and we could have got more information about Charlie instead of knocking him off at the end of the season. Just because he's very one note.
Would you have blocked the flashbacks maybe as the first couple episodes as a prelude before we get to
that probably, yes, that would have worked better. You know what's really funny? I was trying to remember what previous shows we talked about where they have been successful and not been successful with flashbacks, and it just came to me. Oh goodness. And what was the show with Amandla? Acolyte. Acolyte. It's this idea of, like, where do you, like, placing scenes and going in the past, doing flashbacks, and it's like, this isn't working. I'm like, this isn't the most successful. So it's like, this show kind of did something similar where it was like, all right, you're trying to just you're filling in, you're putting too much into 23 minutes. And this would have been better if they were longer episodes.
And that's what my thing is. Like, it was too abrupt, really, for you to get a hold of anything. Really, if you take the breaks in between, even if this was just like 4 episodes instead of 8, and each one was just the whole 45 minutes for the 4 episodes, maybe it would have been more cohesive story-wise, and the flashbacks wouldn't have been so jarring. But to me, it's like the end without a clear stop. It seemed like it was meant to be longer, and they just split something up into these little episodes, and it didn't. That's kind of what brought the rating for me down as well.
Yeah, I think they definitely could have benefited from being longer episodes for sure. I think everything could have benefited from being just a little more fleshed out.
Yeah.
Even if they were just like 45-minute episodes, I think that would have been good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Freya too. Freya to me was the most interesting one of the pseudo bad guys.
She needed more. I think Freya needed more.
Yeah.
Freya was a cool antagonist to McKenna, and even Freya needed more screen time.
Yeah.
Like, that Freya was interesting. Freya had hands.
Freya had hands. She was a sniper. Yeah, she was.
I'm like, how did she get into this life? Or why did she care? Like, she just doing a job? Yeah. I guess.
Yeah. Man, well, at least it was enjoyable. Another showdown. We got to figure out what we're gonna chop it up about after this week. Happy holidays for those of you that partake. Understand, given the financial stakes of things, if you choose not to this year, because times is rough, but we all got to do what we got to do. Appreciate you guys taking the time out of your days to chop it up with me about these things. We've got one lurker, looks like, that's been here for pretty much the entire stream, and I appreciate you, whoever you are out there, listening to us chop it up about these things. Once again, the video will be uploaded to Spotify to the Askari Cast channel, and there will be links in the description with all of our websites. If you are in any curiousness, if you have any curiosity about our creative endeavors. Appreciate y'all. We will talk to you when we meet next. Peace.